Well, g'day and welcome back to all of our regular viewers. If you are not a regular viewer or if you're new to the channel, welcome anyway. So what we're up to today is just taking a look at an in situ look at all of the new items that are in the game. So I'll just start with here. All of the equipment here for the Explorer, and you'll see here this is all just cosmetic, so it doesn't actually have any physical or magical resistance, but it's just a bit of a look at it anyway. It's not too bad. I had the resources anyway, so I wasn't too concerned with crafting it. So that's the new items there. And in your own crafting menu, in terms of what is new there, you'll see now daggers are available with a they're a melee weapon with a damage of 3, and that's some daggers there, but the daggers that I have on me there are actually blunt knives. Those are the ones that I found looting around the place, and that was just very recently. So we now have explosive arrows as well, so I'll just come down here to where I'm not wrecking my own environment, and you'll see I leave a nice little mark on the wall. So those are also new. Now going back to the workbench, in terms of what's changed up here, nothing's changed at all with any of the work blocks here, building materials. But what you will see here is we have a smooth stone roadblock and a rocky stone roadblock as well. And what we'll do is we'll have a look at those down the bottom. Also, we've got a scavenger bonfire as well. You can see that's what's required to craft it. And in terms of anything decorative, you've got a crude wooden door now, which looks not too bad, and a whole lot of wooden fences as well. So I've already crafted all of these down here. So there's your archers there, which are pretty cool. So I guess if you wanted to make yourself a a village looking place, a lot of the scavenger camps tend to have these sorts of things attached. So it's great for kind of if you wanted to craft yourself a village that looks like it's got an entryway in even, you could use those and craft a path down the middle. And we are speaking of the smooth stone block path. That's it there. And what I've done just there, and if you aren't aware of this, you can just use your rake and smooth it out and pick yourself up stone and dirt from it, and if you want to just sort of craft the material and then duplicate it over a long period or a long sort of lot of path, you don't need to sort of sit there and go disc, 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 or square, square, square kind of thing. You can just do that and smooth it out. And there's the rough stone one. And that's our crude wooden door. It's not too bad, it's a very low kind of door. And all of these wooden pikes and whatnot are used for just walls and protection of bases and whatnot. I'm sure if you played the game you would have seen what they, the purpose they serve. You can make just a crude wall around your base. Now we also have a new little wooden divider there. There's a couple of new windows, which we went through just before, the new round windows, larger ones, and there's 2 different types of those. Those aren't too bad. So what we'll do now is just take a look at each of the builders and what they have to offer. By the way, if you haven't actually checked out my videos on how I've been building this base, I'll put a link for you on the top right hand side of your screen. Taking a look with the Alchemist now. So you'll see with the Alchemist we've got nothing that is of any incidence in terms of what's new. Popping over now to the Hunter. We just took a look at explosive arrows there. So you'll see they also say explosive arrow 1, so you would possibly assume that there may be explosive arrows 2 at some stage. Yet to find that out. Drying rack and the tanning station are still as they were previous. So in terms of decorations there, nothing has changed at all. So nothing new there. But what you will see here in the drying rack now, we have reptile leather, which we spoke about before. It's right there. And nothing new at the tanning station or at the loom. So that's with the Hunter. With the Carpenter down here, this is where a lot of things have changed. So we do have a new mission for him, but we'll get to that in our walkthrough videos. Now, we do have a rustic bed, which we'll go and take a look at in a moment. Moving on down now to the tables, you'll see here there are some new tables. We've got the rustic side table, and that is crafted with black mire heartwood, as is the rustic table and the rustic banquet table. And we've made ourselves a rustic chair and a rustic bench, which are the 2 new ones there, and you'll see they're just wood logs. They don't cost you a lot. And in terms of any lighting, there's nothing has changed there, but there was already plenty there, so you didn't really need to concern yourself with having a lack of options at all. And what also has changed, we've now got new banners, and I've crafted one of each of those. I'll show you those in a moment. And we've also got all of these new tombstones here, and you'll see they're only crafting with stone and you know, limestone, and that's about it. So they're very easy to craft. Now these things here are expensive. The large crypt door, 20 charcoal and 20 iron bars. So they are very expensive. And this one here, super expensive, 60 iron bars. But as you'll see in a moment, they look absolutely incredible. And we've also got a crypt fence as well, and that's a new addition also. Now what we also have is our rustic door, which we were talking about before, and the new windows, those there, they just need wood, logs and twigs, so they're not too bad to craft. And the polished windows there only sort of need resin, a couple of nails, which isn't too bad. So all of this is really, really easy to craft, and there's no new additions in the furniture side of things. There was plenty of additions made last time. So we've also got graveyard fences here, which you would have seen really briefly, which we'll go and take a look at. Now they just need that rusty kind of copper fence, which I'm not a fan of, and some stone. So they're pretty easy to craft as well. And nothing else has changed with the Carpenter there. So we'll take a look at so here we are here. Here's our rustic, that's our new giant gate, which is incredible. That looks just so good. Great looking thing. It's about the same size as that. I think it's probably about maybe 16 meters high, I think 16 cubes high. And those look great as well. Those are sort of a little bit more of a rusty looking thing. Both of those ones. And these gates are sort of a little bit kind of, I don't know, I guess a little bit newer looking. They don't sort of look as rusty as those. And these are the cemetery fences. So you can see that there's a corner there, so you can marry that corner there up with that and do just a steel fence around your cemetery, which is pretty cool. If you don't want to have sort of these old rusty stones here. These things I think are just going to be fantastic. You'll be able to make your own little cemetery. Now, those are your new banners. That's a little half banner, and that's gigantic. And as is this one here, it is absolutely huge. One slight niggle with these is once you place them, you can't just walk up to it and take it down again. You got to get yourself up somehow to the height that you want it at, so bear that in mind. And over here we've got a slightly smaller banner. That's one of the other sort of banners that's a little bit tinier than the rest. Now if we head over to our Blacksmith here and check out what's changed over here. There's nothing new that's sprung up in terms of clutter or anything like that, but this is where your tall crypt fence, which we were just looking at, the rusty looking one, that's where it's crafted, and also a crypt fence as well, which I have not crafted as yet. And there's your prison fence. Sorry, I called it the graveyard fence. It's a prison fence. So you can see there, a few iron bars required for them, so you got to do a lot of mining for all of these things, but if you're through the entire game like I am, it's not that much of a hassle, and it's just something you kind of keep running in the background permanently and just kind of gradually upgrade stuff as you go. Now with the bard here, large backpack. The backpack used to be crafted somewhere else, and I think it's only available through her now. But it's still leather and linen as it once was. But you can now make a medium backpack with her, and as I was saying before, you can make that with reptile leather, so that's one of your uses for reptile leather. Now another thing she crafts, and you would have noticed with, or if you haven't seen as yet, with all of the missions, they're sort of given musical names, and it hints towards, musical things. So you can craft instruments through her, and as I mentioned before, here's all the cosmetic outfit for her. Now what you can do with all of these, and you'll see over to the left there, I'm getting a buff right now. So it's similar to, if you do your kind of on the road buff or whatever. So, not really something that exciting, but I don't know, I guess it's something a little bit cool. Something a bit interesting. Gives you a little extra buff. And you'll see, and this is a cool little thing you can kind of do if you're playing with your friends as well. It increases your buff, your rested buff, and you get that comfort level goes up as well. You'll see my comfort level is going up as I'm sitting here playing music. So yeah. Right, well, that's basically it in terms of any of the changes with the update. There's no new blocks or anything, and that's around about it. I mean, there are a couple of other little tiny changes here and there, but nothing I really want to kind of highlight. The main things are, as you'll see on screen here, a lot of the aesthetics have been changed, as I mentioned briefly with You know, all of the different things in the game. They've changed the blues on the coin in the storage chest, that sort of thing. They've just made the whole thing look a little bit more colourful, so I guess that's pretty cool. Alright, well, as I said, that's about it for us. And as I mentioned as well, if you haven't checked out my Let's Play videos or my channel in general, please feel free to take a look. I'd really appreciate it if you could, and I'd really appreciate a thumbs up on this video as well. It goes a long way to helping me progress this channel. And take a look at their build videos as well if you can. I'm sure you'll get something out of it for your own builds. I've put a lot of effort and a lot of work into them, and the town here is really coming along.